B-Leaguers, how you going? It's your boy here, Dan, at the B-League says, on behalf of Going for Two Live, it is the B-League Pick and Show, and I am here to cover Monday Night Football. We are looking forward to another good Monday Night Football matchup. We have the Atlanta Falcons, that hot, burning mess. The Atlanta Falcons out of Philadelphia. They're out of Philadelphia. Philadelphia back from the Copacabana. They're back from Rio de Janeiro, back from Sao Paulo. They're back from having the greatest holiday of their life out in Brazil. They're playing a game of football or something. I don't know. It may as well have been a preseason game for them. It just looked like so much fun to be out there in an incredible atmosphere. But we are going to cover the Falcons and Eagles doing Monday Night Football. We're looking at 3 pick and props over at underdogfantasy.com. Promo code GF2 for 100% match deposit up to $250. Please make sure you follow the ticker down here. This is a pre-recorded show. It's a Saturday morning. I'm recording on a Saturday morning. This is wild, but the props didn't drop during the week. They were a late addition to Underdog. They came out on, I think it was like Friday morning. So it wasn't a lot to go off, and I couldn't give you the episodes earlier. But we're going to prop this up on Monday before the 2-point conversion with Kyle and Gladys, my favorite show, the Monday Night Show. It is my favorite. It is my favorite show for Going for Two Live. I just no longer on it anymore. I've been punted. No, I'm kidding. I have a family commitment. So I can't be there on Monday nights, which sucks for me because I miss Kyle and Gladys and the doc when he was about it. It was a great show to be on. Either way, we're going to get on with these 3 props, all right? We're a minute and a half into a 5-minute show. We're going to get our ass kicked for this. Sorry, Jeff. Pick number 1, we're going Bryce Huff. Yes, we're going to go with an IDP player. Bryce Huff, higher than half a sack at 1.16 return. You get a little bit of a kicker in there going on those defensive plays. Look, this has nothing to do with Huff as much as it has to do with whatever the hell was going on with the Falcons in Atlanta last week. Look, TJ Watt is a difference maker. He is a different source. He is a different machine. However, he destroyed the right side of the Atlanta Falcons offensive line last week. He killed them. He literally killed them. He could have had 4 sacks, 5 sacks, except a couple holding penalties for the Steelers kind of let him down, which is kind of sucks because he could have been off to an absolute flyer week 1. And, it didn't help that Kirk Cousins did move out of shotgun. He was a sitting duck. So if you have a bad offensive line or a bad side, TJ Watt, and a quarterback that's a little bit scared to move after his Achilles tendons there, maybe it's not the best ingredient for success as it would be. But Watt could have looked away, again, with 4 to 5 sacks if it weren't for penalties and all that sort of thing. So, he went clean every time. So Huff, although decent, he's not the same ballpark as TJ Watt, he can hit once. And I'm going to bank on him being able to get once. And look, I like Sweat on the other side as well. He might be able to get through as well. So both outside linebackers for the Eagles this week I like very much against the Falcons. If you feel like they can get home. Sweat has a return of 1.38x as well. So both getting a little bit of a bonus there for getting on the sack prop for the Eagles. So I don't mind that one too much. Pick number 2, we're going to go Jalen Hurts. We're going to go lower than 39.5 rushing yards. I can see this total getting lower and lower over the next few days. And more importantly, I think this total is going to get lower and lower over the next few weeks, purely because Hurts has something that he hasn't had before since being an Eagle. We're talking about an elite run game next to him. So we are. I am of the opinion that Saquon Barkley is a phenomenal running back. He is outstanding. I don't think anyone's going to disagree too much with that. You put him next to Hurts. You don't really need Hurts taking the hits. Now, you look at what happened with the Falcons. They're trying to improve their front. They brought in Dupree and all that sort of stuff. Matt Judon from the Patriots. They traded for before the season started. They've tried to make an effort, but I don't think that's enough. And their front's not too bad. Grady Jarrett's a good player too. I don't think it'll be enough to get the Hurts to rush that often. I don't think he's going to panic as much as what we might have seen before. He won't have to get out of the pocket and scramble about. So I'm sure there'll be design run plays. I don't think that's going to change. But I'm not saying that it won't happen. I'm just saying that I don't feel like this game is going to be might be over fairly quickly, to be honest with you. And the need for him to take unnecessary hits might dissipate where he's handing it off to Kenny Gainwell at some point. I really feel like this game is going to be over pretty quick. It might be over by halftime. So for all you Eagles fans who think I'm a hater, I actually think you're going to get away with this one pretty quickly. So I'm taking the lower because it's not going to be needed for Hurts. Nice 13 rush attempts in game 1 against the Packers. That was great too. But he still only managed 33 yards. 13 attempts, that's quite a lot to get nowhere. So I understand maybe the short yard stuff. No, not really. It just didn't really happen that way. So the Falcons did have 50 rushing yards put on them by Justin Fields last week. But that also might be more of a thing where Justin Fields isn't as good as a passer as what Jalen Hurts is. So I really feel like, maybe their options of play calling didn't allow for that as well. I just think that Hurts at this point, he's not going to have to take the hits to do the work that he used to do. You got Barkley there, all right? And I don't think that's going to shock anyone's world. So I'm going to go lower. And again, the lower this number happens for him, the lower this number is going to hit. So that's the other thing as well. Pick number 3, a little bit outside of the box if the first two weren't. We're going to go Ray McLeod over 19.5 receiving yards. Look, we can go back to Pierre Garçon, Jamison Crowder, and recently Jordan Addison, slot receivers who have thrived under Kirk Cousins as their quarterback. Now McLeod is there, who was a standout this offseason. Like they were telling us, Ray McLeod's going to be their slot receiver, their third receiver. This is going to be a thing. He's had a good offseason. I always thought it was going to be like punt return, kick return. That was what we were looking at. But he slotted into that role and done wonders. Pun. But he slotted very well and done wonders, for himself already in week 1. He was their best wide receiver in week 1. He landed 4 for 52 in a frustrating game against the Steelers in week 1. Now we can look at the Eagles. You look at what happened in the last week with Jaden Reed. He absolutely diced them up. Avonte Maddox was absolute garbage. And, we're talking about a similar role. Now, obviously, different teams, different play calling. I understand the differences with all this sort of stuff. But now we can look at this and go, well, we know that Cousins like to lean on a slot player. They do very well. They end up getting that, 4 for 40 odd, 4 for 50, 5 for 60 range. McLeod's that guy now, and we've got a line at 19.5 receiving yards. I think I'm going to get on that very, very quickly. We're going to go back one more time. We're going to recap this nice and easy. We're going to go back to number 1, Bryce Huff, higher than half a sack. We're going to get on that at 1.16 return. Pick number 2, it's going to be Jalen Hurts, lower than 39.5 receiving yards. And we're going to go pick number 3, Ray McLeod, over 19.5 receiving yards. That is it for your Monday Night Football. Please stay tuned for the 2-point conversion with Kyle Senra and Gladys Louise, my favorite people in the world. They're coming up next. We're going for 2 live. Thanks very much. Cheers, safe bets, happy punts, and goodbye.